Greetings! Since the implementation of laser draws near, I wanted to talk a bit about Scorev2. I'm also long overdue with this video, so let's get started. So in case some of you didn't know, Scorev2 is currently a selectable mod that removes slider leniency, gives mods different score multipliers, and caps the score at 1 million points if you don't count the spinners and the mods. It also gives more weight to accuracy, but since accuracy is still weighted more towards the end of the map, it is just basically a reskin of Scorev1 in that regard. Back when it was created, it served as a baseline to what the future scoring system would look like. Many people think that Scorev2 will be adapted as the main scoring system in Laser. Well, probably not. The biggest issue with that would be the old scores. Also, that it sucks major ding-dongs. Now, I know what you are thinking. Verto, this is a rhythm game and you are against the rhythm? Verto, this is a rhythm game and you are against the rhythm? Unsubscribed. Yeah, no. It's more complicated than that. Compromising the old scores is already big enough of an issue to guarantee Scorev2 will need changes. As a community member who is invested in the issue, I would like to point out what's wrong with Scorev2 and provide possible solutions to those problems. To be honest, the slider accuracy is the least of Scorev2's problems. The game already facilitates a feature that is borderline broken. Sliders that are too short or are buzzing too fast often have special hit windows. Since you are supposed to reach the end of the slider by the time it finishes, hitting these sliders late will most likely result in a combo break, even if you are within the 300 zone. This also happens on faster sliders with slider ticks, which is especially annoying on low approach rate maps. So, since the sliders are already broken, let's address a possible solution to it. When people argue against Scorev2, they often bring up the argument that mappers mapped their maps with slider leniency in mind. Adding a slider accuracy into the mix will make these maps broken and will most likely ruin high-end technical mapping. That's where you are wrong, kiddo! We only need to create a separate OD system for these sliders, where OD0 or ODX for those pedantic donkeys will make the sliders pretty much the same as they were in Scorev1. That way, old scores will not need to be converted. On top of that, mappers will be able to choose how lenient they want their sliders to be. Or they can even make it stricter than normal nodes. The possibilities are endless. Even the scrubs who are worried that they won't be able to compete anymore due to being unable to accurately hit sliders will have plenty of maps with little or no slider accuracy at all. Verto, don't you think you are forgetting something? Yes, calm down. Let's talk about how we could fix the issue with the sliders that end sooner than the hit window for 300. There are many possible solutions to this. One of them is to completely ignore it, but we are here to fix things. What if the slider ball only started rolling within the slider when you click on the slider? First though, we need to decide if we allow slider balls to appear even if the click was not on the slider head but on the slider body. If we do, then the slider ball will appear at the section of the slider that was clicked on, like you can see on the video. On the other hand, if we don't allow that kind of thing, clicking on the slider body will result in a clear miss, and the only way to start the slider ball would be from the slider head. Now, what if we don't click on the slider at all? What happens then? Well, the slider will behave the same way as if it was a node. After it's outside the hit window, it will look something like this. But we are still not done yet. This game mechanic would allow multiple sliders to be active. Do we allow that? Or do we only let the next slider ball start after the previous one has reached the slider end? Well, the latter would probably create more problems, as the node after these sliders wouldn't be clickable until it's way too late. Personally, I would allow 2B kind of slider behavior. I mean, if your accuracy is so bad that you have 3 slider balls at the same time and just generally make mess of the map, then you kind of deserve it. After all, double tapping is also possible, as long as you don't press both buttons exactly at the same time. So, since old scores and slider accuracy is out of the way, let's move on to another huge problem: mods. It is unbelievable how anyone would think that giving flat multipliers to mods, especially hidden, is a good idea. The only reason why it would seem like a good idea is that it is very easy to just slap some number to each mod and call it a day. But where though? You need to come up with a system that deals with different aspects of the game in order to give mods a proper multiplier. Don't you think so? Huh? Don't you think so? You aren't a big guy now, huh? Indeed. We already have PP for that. Although even there, hidden gives a flat percentage boost on certain aspects like aim and accuracy. But is really an outdated system, so at the very least PP Plus could serve as an example instead. In PP Plus, part of the hidden bonus comes from the density. So, low approach rate maps are awarded more bonus PP if they are completed with hidden, while higher approach rates with very little density are awarded next to no bonus PP. Personally, I would either make hidden a mod that doesn't change the score you earn, or turn it into a double-edged mod. Under certain density and high enough approach rate, it would decrease the PP awarded. Tournaments, especially free mod brackets, would be much more exciting if mods wouldn't give flat multipliers. Players would need to consider much more aspects when they decide on which mods they will be picking. Oh snap, we are getting sidetracked. Back to the topic. Basically, mods need to give different amounts of score bonuses on different maps. So for example, a map might be objectively harder with Hard Rock than Double Time, yet Double Time always gives bigger score multiplier than Hard Rock. That sucks. Something similar to PP score would be an ideal way to deal with the relative difficulty differences between mods. It would also have the case of the next huge problem of Scorev2: the scoring system itself. Capping the score at exactly 1 million would not be a tragedy on its own. The problem comes from how you can exceed that, and that decrease in accuracy is still very similar to Scorev1. You probably had plays that were made with the same mods. Both plays were full combo, but the one with the lower accuracy had higher score. You cried out to the gods and Peppy. Why would they allow this? Since you had either lost a certain amount of PP, or you couldn't receive it even though the proof you can do it was there. Scorev2 doesn't fix that. Accurate hits are still weighted more at the end of the map compared to the beginning, where it is worth less. PP score would eliminate that problem, since it lurks at the accuracy after you have finished your play. The biggest problem with that would be the way PP score would be displayed during the game. But as we can see, there are plugins already that display PP during gameplay, so that's a manageable problem. Oh, and let's not forget about spinners! You thought I would forget about that? Well, tough luck! To all the full mod rank 1 farmers, the solution will be disappointing. But spinners shouldn't give a bonus score. They were already an issue in Scorev1, as it is one of the easiest and least noticeable ways to cheat. And let's be real here, your spinning speed doesn't really add anything to your performance. It is just an arbitrary way to give you bonus score. PP score would remove this arbitrary element from the scoring system, as long as it doesn't affect the accuracy of the play. However, not all is lost to the spin to win players. If you are sharp, you noticed that there is a way to make spinners relevant. Let me propose something utterly crazy. Spinner accuracy. You would need to match the given spinning speed in order to get 300. The higher the spinning OD, the more accurate you need to be. It could match the BPM or let the mapper decide how fast you need to spin on each spinner. The spinner would be accompanied with a number that signals how fast you need to spin. That was quite a rant. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about Scorev2 and my proposals. Actually, I don't want to hear them. If my touchscreen videos taught me anything, it's that you guys won't even watch the video before commenting, so... Let me know what you think in the comments. Just try to keep it civil. Goodbye. Until next time.